Greens everyone, I'm Code II, and welcome to the things they missed in 21W03A, the 6th snapshot for Minecraft 1.17 The Caves and Cliffs update, and the first snapshot of 2021. Now this video is not a regular snapshot showcase. I'm not just going to go through all the features, I'm just going to show you the most interesting little details and snippets, and also I'm not guaranteeing that people that you've seen other than me reviewing this snapshot have missed these details, but it's highly likely. So this is a video of little factoids and more secret and interesting and weird features. So yeah, before we start, I want to mention that I'm sorry for this video being late, but I have my semester started, so it takes a long time to get to videos sometimes. But now let's just get right into the snapshot. The first thing I want to mention is the glow squid, as it is the least interesting addition this week around, or should I say last week at this point. Anyways, glow squids don't have much going for them that I consider interesting. Aside from, as you can see, it doesn't seem to work for me, unfortunately, but I've seen other people do this. When you hit them, supposedly, they stop emitting light. And there's actually a NBT tag that allows you to control that with commands. So that's very useful for people who make data packs, for example. You can manipulate them to never glow if you wanted that to be the case. And honestly, that's all I can say about the glow squid. Now, there is one more interesting thing, and for that I need to demonstrate this new feature to you that I think everybody knows about. And that is that you can dye signs with glow ink sacs to make them emissive. So that's not new, but what I want to show you is this. As you can see, it's hard to see from this direction, but my offhand is doing a crazy animation while I'm applying this ink. Even though I already applied it, as you can see, it doesn't play a sound, it just makes an animation even though it's not supposed to. That's all I wanted to say about this feature, honestly. And let's get into the interesting stuff about this snapshot, that being the Glow Lichen. This block is one of the most interesting blocks they've added in a long time. After pointed dripstone, I guess, actually. This update has a lot of interesting little blocks. But anyways, I wanted to show you the Glow Lichen block. There's actually two of them, but I'll explain a bit later. The interesting thing about this block is that it has block states. And you might be weirded out by this, and this, I gave away the secret to this one. It's just a barrier block covered in lichen. So in total it's 7 blocks, 6 on each direction, obviously the barrier block that holds it all together. But this block, as you can see, has a very unusual highlight. As you can see, the outline is very strange for this block, and that's because if I press F3, you can see that pretty much every block state for this block is true except for waterlogged. This is a wild beast of a block. This is a glow lichen block, basically. It's because, like vines, it can be placed in one block in many different block states, but unlike vines, it can also be placed on the bottom. But this block, of course, doesn't have a bounding box, or should I say a collision box, so I can just go right through it. And this is like a leaf block, but it's completely, as you can see, unobtrusive to me as a hitbox. I can just go right through it. And I'll give you a command on how to make this block in the description. So you thought that was interesting, but hold on. If I just type setblock Glow Lichen, you'll see something amazing happen. Yes, there is no Glow Lichen. Well, it might seem so, but there is one. It's because there are no block states in this block of Glow Lichen. Therefore, it also has no hitbox. The only way to get rid of this block, actually, I should show you at night. As you can see, clearly there is a Glow Lichen block right there, illuminating the area. The only way to get rid of it, as it is a waterloggable, is to replace it with another block, as you just saw right there. But yeah, this can also be waterloggable. You cannot change the amount of light, but it's a pretty good light source for an invisible one. And I also want to add, this block has a lot of interesting other things. So the light level of Glow Lichen is 7, And it doesn't grow naturally, unlike vines. It doesn't spread unless you use bone meal. Actually, there's one really interesting thing about this that I haven't shown you yet. For that, I have this lava bucket right here. If I place this down and place a glow lichen into it, you'll see something crazy happen. It actually waterlogs, and it replaces lava with water. This is possible right now in this snapshot. Obviously, will be fixed later. But it's possible to put this in the nether as well. And you can just put water in the nether now. As of this snapshot, probably this snapshot only, but use this opportunity if you have survival worlds, if you can. And abuse this, because it's very fun. You can also create very, very fast cobblestone generators using this, because nether has an ultra warm property about it, which means that lava flows as fast as water here does in the overworld, and you can make super, super fast cobblestone generators there in this snapshot using this bug. One interesting thing about it as well is that it holds fluids in place. If I place Glow Lichen and lava inside, you'll see that it'll actually hold this fluid in place. Even though it looks completely illogical, it doesn't seem to be a flammable block, even though it's lichen. Well, that's pretty much it about this amazing new block. Now I'll tell you about a lot of interesting bug fixes in this version, which I usually don't do, but I decided that this snapshot had a very interesting changelog when it comes to bug fixes. So, as I always do, I mention things that aren't actually true that were in the changelog, and that is also true for this version. It mentioned that it fixed a bug where a baby animals growing up in a tight space would have their hitbox collide with the blocks and make it take suffocating damage, which has very, very, very much not been fixed in this snapshot, even though it says so in the changelog. Now, it also mentioned that a client desync bug was fixed. When it comes to projectiles, shooting arrows was uneven until you relogged into your world, and it was just an annoying issue. And it was not fixed in this snapshot, even though it said that it was fixed. So now I want to talk about shulkers. There's a lot of interesting things about shulkers in this version. First of all, I'm going to talk about how they are not able to open in this state. So yeah, if it collides with a hitbox, it'll not open. Instead, it will teleport when it wants to open. Now, shulkers are also now movable with pistons, which is very interesting. And there's a lot of other fixes that are probably because of shulker farming. That being that their model doesn't look weird anymore when it's placed in boats and minecarts, although, funny enough, their model does interact weirdly with portals. It seems to turn around 45 degrees, which is obviously only purely visual. The hitbox itself doesn't shift, but it's just interesting that this bug is in this version while they fixed the desync with the render. Now, there was also a really weird bug in which you could not open shulker boxes if it was next to an actual shulker, which was fixed, and that shulkers can also be right next to each other. Before, for some reason, they would teleport away, but as you can see, no longer an issue in this snapshot. Now, there's also a very interesting bug in the last snapshot that I didn't even realize. That was that mobs would not spawn in the dripstone caves biomes at all. There was not a single mob in that biome, and now that's of course been fixed. All the regular mobs will spawn there now. And also there was another fix with shulkers. If you used a spawner for a shulker, then it would always spawn a white shulker, which doesn't occur naturally. Now it'll spawn these regular shulkers instead. Now that was it for shulkers, but I want to talk about shulker boxes now and bundles. In the last snapshot they introduced, or 2 snapshots back, honestly I don't remember, if you throw a bundle in a lava source or in fire, as you saw right there really quick, it would actually drop all the items out of the bundle. Now, it was possible to abuse in the last snapshot, and you could basically throw them into multiple sources at once, and they would drop double the items, which was fixed in this snapshot. And the only thing I want to mention left in this snapshot is that there's a new death method for falling on a stalagmite, and there's also a new thing that they introduced in this snapshot that's not very great, but it is in fact something that happens and will probably happen in future to other things, is that languages that are not complete will be removed from the game. And this game had some languages removed in this version, and there probably will not be supported anymore in the future. Which probably really minor languages that barely anybody spoke, but it would be nice if those were translated, even if they were little languages. In my opinion, it's really cool to preserve languages, and that's not really a cool change, but well, that was their decision. So yeah, that was it for today, guys. It was kind of a lot, and I'm sorry about being late again, but I hope you enjoyed the video anyways, and you learned something new here. And yeah, I don't know what else to say other than don't forget to smash subscribe, ring my bell, and as always, stay.